What's up, nerds? It's Mason. I got the January haul for y'all. I got absolute editions, I got omnibus, I got hardcovers, I got trade paperbacks, I got it all. So thanks you so much for checking me out. As I always say, most of these books I purchase from InStockTrades.com, where you go to get those deep discounts that help make this semi-expensive hobby more affordable. Don't let high cover prices intimidate you. Go to InStockTrades.com. So great books to share with you guys. Started off with a big one that I've been excited for many, many moons. I bought Absolute Death by Neil Gaiman. This is a new printing that I was so excited to see solicited a long time ago, because this Absolute has been out of print for a little while, and that had me scared because I love Sandman's my favorite comics, and I have all the Absolute editions, but I needed Absolute Death, and I was worried I'd have to pay cover price for it. Oh no! But luckily they reprinted it. They do pretty good with I think the Sandman and stuff like that. There's even going to be a box set later this year. They print that all the time, so I think we're good with the printings on these. But I still need Absolute Sandman Overture. Anyway, back to this one. Got Absolute Death. We'll dive into it as soon as possible. Yeah, just a beautiful edition, of course. Love the Absolute editions. Great way to collect one of the greatest comic book stories ever written. You know, the Omnibus look nice as well. I just started with the Absolutes, so that's just what I prefer. You know, any way you can, you need to read Sandman. I can't stress it enough. Please treat yourself. All right. What else I got? All right. I actually ordered a couple of these books at the tail end of December, but due to slow shipping times, I just wanted to wait and add them to this haul. So one of them I picked up was the Promethea Book 2 hardcover for the 20th anniversary. This is by another great genius writer, Alan Moore, who is known most famously for Watchmen and The Killing Joke. But anyway, Promethea Book 1 came out about the same time last year. Really enjoyed it. Really high concept, creative, inspiring story. Really cool artwork. I think I might need to reread Book 1 before I dive into Book 2, but who knows with all the stuff I got to read anyway. I always say that I need to do it, but I never do it. Usually I find my groove anyway. But excited to get into this one, excited to pick it up. Great book. Don't overlook. Also picked up, I got the Final Boys Omnibus. This is volume 6. So this is the grand finale. I read it. Loved it, man. Great ending. Had a little twist. You know, it was even heartwarming considering all the gore and mature themes throughout this book. So it basically collects the boys number 60 through 72 for a quick read, a quick finish. I'll miss these characters a little bit. Eventually I'm going to get into that show. And the boys, these trade paperback omnibus, especially with the photo covers, are way up there. And maybe my favorite collected editions of 2019. Really glad for this simple, easy, cheap way to jump into a great story by Garth Ennis. Can't recommend it enough. You know, if you don't like sensitive material, or you have a high moral code, maybe it won't be the book for you, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd still say that Preacher, I enjoyed Preacher a bit more, but The Boys is probably second in line in terms of Garth Ennis material. Great characters, great situations. I thought it was also cool that directly after reading this, I started to read my Injustice Omnibus, which I shared in last month's video. I finished this today, actually. God, Injustice was a great read. So much fun. Written so well by Tom Taylor. The way he utilizes so many characters from the DC universe, and it's not muddled with too much characters or too much whatever dialogue. It was perfectly paced, lots of fun. I enjoyed reading more about DC characters that I'm not exposed to very often, like the Green Lantern Corps, Lobo, he was great, Swamp Thing, you know. So that was cool. But then again, like I said, I read the Injustice right after The Boys, so they were kind of connected in themes in a way, because The Boys is all about what if superheroes, you know, go rogue. They need someone to keep them in check so they don't just, you know, take over the planet and control humanity the way that they could with all their powers. So who do you call? You call The Boys, and they handle it. So Injustice is kind of along that themes. You know, something happens to Superman, makes him go nuts, kind of wanting to turn. I mean, in his mind, he's protecting the world, but really he's turning it into a police state. Some members of the Justice League are with him on that, and others, like Batman, are against that. You know, Batman's against killing and, you know, obviously wanting to control. He doesn't want to control humanity, you know. He wants to let them figure things out on their own and pretty much, you know, just try to maintain balance. But Superman's pissed, and he wants to use all of his superpowers to make sure there's no war, no killing. Otherwise, Superman will kill you. So, you know, there's just moral dilemmas all over. But Injustice was a great read. One of my favorite reads of any superhero books. I can't recommend it enough. Tom Taylor killed it, man. Hopefully, because I know the Omnibus collects the first 3 years, and I know that there's 4 and 5. I don't know if that's where it ends, but hopefully it keeps up. But it was awesome. I can't recommend it enough if you've not checked out Injustice. It was great. If someone had never read superhero comics before, or like DC comics before, Injustice would be up there for a recommendation. I'm so glad I checked it out. All right, another one I picked up at the very, maybe the beginning of this month. I had a eBay gift card. Just wanted to share that I finally nabbed the I Hate Fairyland Book 2 hardcover. This came out way back in September, but I had already read it, so it just kind of went on my want list for a little while. I read these in single issues, loved them. It's one of the only books that, like, I sold a lot of my single issues the past couple of years, but definitely going to keep those, and when I'm ready for a reread, this will be the format to do it in. But can't praise Fairyland enough. Just a silly little book by silly Scotty Young that I thoroughly enjoy. So I got the green and I got the pink. Put some color on them shelves. All right. Let's see what else I got. I haven't picked anything up on the Omnibus Collectors Facebook group in a while. I saw this for a great deal and had to do it. So I got the Brave and the Bold Batman Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 1. So yeah, for, I don't know, it's probably a good 70% off cover price or something like that. So had to do it. Thanks to a great seller on there. These ones, you know, I'll only pick them up if it's like dirt cheap. And I definitely wanted this one. These are some great, especially for the Neil Adams artwork. One of my favorite Batman artists. Everybody always poo-poos on the Batman Neil Adams Omnibus, which again, I would love to own that, but only if it was a really, really great deal, because everybody always shits all over it, right? For how they changed the coloring. So I thought this was a great way to own Neil Adams artwork in omnibus format. This one collects Batman, Brave and the Bold, 74 through 106. So tons of great classic stories and artwork in this one that I do intend to read. It'd probably be one of those I read, you know, it's a one issue, put it away. It's probably not a binge reader, but still something I'm very happy to own. And I always enjoyed the Batman blue and gray style, old school style. So again, another reason that I'm happy to own it. for old school Omni. What else? A couple more books. The last ones that I've picked up this month. I picked up Rockos Modern Afterlife trade paperback. For a little Nickelodeon nostalgia. They're coming to get you, Rocco. Name that movie. Alright, or that reference anyway. So yeah, this is just Rockos Modern Afterlife 1 through 4, written by Anthony Birch. This was obviously a quick read, lots of fun. If you're into old school Nickelodeon cartoons, specifically Rockos Modern Life, definitely a great book, little cheap book to pick up. You know, if you need to make your order $50 for free shipping, add this to your cart. It was fun. I know that Rocco has like an ongoing. I've never checked that out. Maybe I will now, but I thought this would just be a little one-off, you know, afterlife, zombie related. I thought that'd be fun, and it was a lot of fun. It has a lot of modern day metaphors. It kind of makes fun of modern technology, you know, cell phones and online gaming, things like that. There's just a lot of fun, witty jokes in here. I'd probably reread it again. It was fun to read it, and just I had to try to remember what all their voices sounded like. And spot on writing and good artwork too. It's just like the cartoon. Lots of fun. All right, one last omnibus. Another new printing. We got the Daredevil by Brian Michael Bendis, Volume 1 omnibus. It's getting a little dark. I'm doing this video later than usual. So hopefully the lighting is not too bad. Anyway, picked up the new printing of Daredevil. These are great reprints because these books have been heavily out of print, you know, going for like $300 or more. I'd always wanted to read these, figured I'd have to get the complete collections or something like that. Hallelujah. Marvel's stepping it up. They're stepping it up big this year with the reprints. Dear God. I'm so excited for all the reprints that we get to have. But yeah, ain't read much Daredevil, and I hear a lot of good things about Brian Michael Bendis' run. Volume 2 comes out next month, so we'll have the complete set, and then we'll dive into those and get some Daredevil in my mind for things that I've read that I haven't read. That makes sense. Anyway, yeah, great books, tons more great reading to be had. Again, thanks to everybody for checking me out. Keep it nerdy.